drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Op 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll off 'em. Op 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros, because I've been seeing it on Twitter, and Paulie Malignaggi's been saying that Devin Haney's going to duck Vasiliy Lomachenko. That's what he's been saying. So it's like, all right, let's talk about it. Does Devin Haney owe Vasiliy Lomachenko a shot at the undisputed title? I'm gonna turn over to Conspiracy G, man. What you gotta say, man?
Does he owe him? No. However, I would love to see it though, and I kind of feel like Haney should do it for the fans, because we need closure, Shout out to Irish Boxing Bro. He be getting on my damn nerves on Twitter. You know what I mean? The way he be just going so ham for my man Lomachenko. And I'm just stop it. You know what I mean? Like, I honestly believe, and this is no disrespect to Lomachenko, because I've been impressed by Lomachenko for a while. I remember I picked, him. I picked the Axeman to beat him, and he violated the Axeman. He violated Rigondeaux. I was like, you know what? Hey, this guy's the real deal. So it's not like I'm coming in here talking about Ukrainian Super 9. I'm not going to do that. Go ahead, Kaden.
Did you pick Comey to beat Vasiliy Lomachenko?
Nah, did I? I can't remember. I don't think I did.
All right. I don't remember. That's why I was asking you. All right.
I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really a huge Comey fan, to be honest. So
I was about to violate if you did.
You know what I mean? But when Lomachenko did that to the other two gentlemen, it's like, I believe he made both of them quit. I said, yo, what is going on here? You know what I mean? So clearly he's the real deal. However, so is Devin Haney. And as all the attributes that Vasiliy does have, Vasiliy is a shorter fighter than Haney. Haney's fast on his feet and he has longer distance. So I think Haney has the boxing IQ, the athletic ability, and just the height reach advantage that I think could subdue Vasiliy. So I would love to see that fight. Obviously, my money's on Haney, but I think, for the sake of the sport, and I understand like Haney's looking like his 135 is really hard for his body, but if you could just do this one last time for us to shut down your haters, it'll be much appreciated. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Let me phrase this another way, G. If Haney doesn't fight Vasiliy Lomachenko when he moves up, is he ducking?
It depends. All right. So, and the reason why I say it depends is if he just can't make weight, then I don't think it's ducking. But if he knows he can make weight and he's just like, nah, I don't want to do it, then it's a duck. Because it's like, even if you move up to 140, who you going to fight at 140 that's a bigger fight than you versus Lomachenko?
Teofimo
at 140? Maybe. I don't think it's bigger than Lomachenko, though, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though, although Teo did beat Vasiliy, it seemed like Vasiliy was just processing too long for the first half of the fight. So, in the second half of the fight, that's when Lomachenko actually activated his Super Saiyan ability, So, I think with that, it's like, yeah, maybe. But I think the world wants to see Haney versus Lomachenko. Yeah, sure, we could see Haney versus Teofimo at 140, but I think it's really like we want to see Loma and Haney get in the ring together. So I think he should do it, but I don't know. The way politics works in boxing, I just don't like, because I think Haney's going to probably look at it as, I don't need Lomachenko. I'm already undisputed. I'm trying to move on to bigger, better things. He's probably his goal is to be probably undisputed at 140. So, he could pull the Canelo and just front like he doesn't need Lomachenko, even though the streets is calling for you to fight Lomachenko. So, me, G, the interpreter of the streets. The streets.
You do not speak for the street. You speak for your street and your street only. And that's
I be in all corners. I be in all corners by all bodegas.
You be in all corners looking like Lil Durk.
All corners.
Yeah, like, yo, come on, son.
And in my interactions with the Goonies,
Stop.
they all saying they want Haney and Loma to lock in. You know what I'm saying? So as the street ambassador, it's my job to tell both gentlemen stop ducking. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we need to see this fight.
G, no, you can't be the self-appointed street ambassador, G.
Why not? Why not? Everyone else is self-appointing themselves. Big goats and quotes and all of that. I could be the street.
The voice of the street.
I could be the voice of the streets. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Let me do what I do. You know, so I'm just saying, man. Listen, Haney, do it for us. I get it. Looking at Lomachenko is technically looking backwards in your mind because Loma has nothing to offer, but he has the name. You know what I'm saying? And with that name, to me, I feel like now with that Undisputed, it means more. You know, like, and I'm not trying to knock your Undisputed accomplishment, but I feel like this Lomachenko is the cherry on top. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to have the belts. My man held down 135 for so long. It's like, to me, it's like you can make an argument like, is it Tank or is it Lomachenko who's the face of 135? And although you're undisputed, I'm going to be honest, I don't view you as the face of 135 because Vasily's still there and because Tank's still there. Tank, you know, there's an argument that why you been talking about Tank? But when it comes to pay-per-views, again, the streets want to see Tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, the technical boxing streets want to see Loma. You know? So, Haney, you got to feed the streets, bro. Yo, Bill, make that happen. Feed the streets, man. That's all I'm asking. Go ahead.
You heard from the streets. All right, Trill Dog Bill.
All right, well, the streets didn't have to speak because the board, the seats already did. You know what I'm saying? The streets didn't have to speak because the top seats already did, because that was part of the whole 3-fight deal that Haney signed, was the 2 fights with Kambosos, and then he would fight Lomachenko as the 3rd fight. So that's already been in the cards. And does Devin Haney owe Vasiliy Lomachenko a shot at Undisputed? He doesn't owe him anything. But Devin wants this fight. Devin wanted this fight before he went in there with Kambosos.
That's what the streets are saying. That's what the streets is saying.
And that's what the streets are saying.
So
he's been wanted this fight. You know?
And across the pond. And in the rain. You know what I'm saying?
He wants this fight.
Streets of streets are all talking.
He wants this fight. And that's the reason why he's over there. He already handled his 2 obligations, and that was fighting Kambosos. Now there's 1 more left. And if Lomachenko can get past his next opponent, then they're trying to make that fight happen. And then Devin will be moving up to 140 because he cannot make this weight no more. So that is the plan from what I heard, you know? So we will see Devin Haney in there with Vasiliy Lomachenko. And I'm going to wait until prediction day to tell you who I got.
Because the streets is watching.
All I know is this is good, and this is what Devin wanted. This is what Devin wanted, and of course, this is what Bob wanted also. This is what Bob wanted. He wanted to make sure that his guy got a shot at those titles before Devin got up out of there. So it was good business by Bob, but it was also what Devin wanted all along. Because there was something that you said, G, that I could agree with. Lomachenko has that name.
Mm-hmm. And
Devin wants it. Kind of like TC when he wanted that Pacquiao name. He's hungry for that Loma name. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be the next fight that we see at 135. After, if Lomachenko can get past the young man.
I just want to make it clear that on my block we have a saying: claiming you from the streets can get you dumped on the highway. So I just want to know that. You know what I'm saying? Nah, check it out. I feel like sometimes there's just like people and like fans of the sport are quick to label fighters as scared or running, right? And I don't like it. So I'll give an example. When Vasiliy Lomachenko chose to fight Teofimo and he didn't fight Devin, who was his mandatory, I understood why. It was the bigger fight. It was the bigger money fight. It's still a dangerous fight. Do I think he was scared of Devin? No. I just think the fight with Devin was high risk, low reward in terms of financial gain. So it's like, why fight Devin when there's really no financial gain there and I'm taking a huge risk, right? So take the risk fighting Teo, which was going to be for Undisputed, right? And then you do it like that. Some people say, oh, well, he ducked Devin and he was afraid. I don't think he was afraid. If he was afraid, he wouldn't be trying to fight Devin now. He's actually older now, right? And he's actually taking an L now and he's still looking to fight Devin. So I don't think – go ahead, G.
Yeah, but when he had the belt, the WBC belt, he chose not to. That means when he was that dude, he ignored him. That is a duck. You know what I'm saying? Now that he wants to, it's because Haney's undisputed. So he has nothing.
It would be a duck if he fought an easy fight. You understand what I'm saying? Like he didn't avoid Devin to fight an easy fight. He
didn't not fight Devin to fight Jamal Herring.
Yeah. He didn't fight Devin to fight Teo, another champion.
Undisputed.
Yeah.
Undisputed.
For Undisputed, although they said it wasn't. And I get what you're saying. Devin.
If he would have won, it would have been.
Yeah. Devin, right. He was the mandatory. So he fights Devin. And I get what you're saying. Why not just beat Devin and then like get him out of the way, right? But it's not that simple because the fight was there on the table to be made. And it's like, well, why can't I just avoid fighting Devin and go straight to Teo? And Devin didn't want to wait. Devin wanted his shot when he wanted his shot. So it wasn't like Devin was – go ahead.
All right. We're doing revisionist history. I'm going to bring it back. And I know sometimes I like to exaggerate. I promise you I'm not exaggerating on this. Let's go back in time just a little bit. Now, Vasiliy, remember, Vasiliy fought, what's that dude from the UK for Mikey Garcia's vacant WBC title.
Oh, Luke
now, Campbell, thank you. But remember, Haney was ranked number 1. Campbell was ranked number 2 at the time. Vasiliy wasn't 1 or 2. But Bob found a way to get Vasiliy to cut the line and be up for grabs for the WBC belt. After he beats Campbell, a month later, he gives up the belt. He actually gives up the belt. And then I think it was the following month. Next thing you know, WBC announces Vasiliy Lomachenko as franchise champion. To me, I can understand if you're saying the whole agenda was to go straight to Teofimo, right? But this seems too fast. It seemed orchestrated. It seems like the powers that be were all involved in this. That's why it's like, nah, bro, this has to be a duck, a corporate duck. It wasn't just Lomachenko and his management. Bob was in on it. Mauricio Suleiman was in on it. Too many people was in on it to give Lomachenko that franchise title, and they played Devin Haney like they literally violated this.
I agree with you that they played Devin Haney.
That's what I'm saying.
But I disagree that it's a duck. You don't listen. Teofimo Lopez is a tough fight for anyone. And Vasiliy didn't fight Devin and fought Tio when he actually lost to Tio. So it's like
karma.
Okay, but to say it's a duck. Well, all I'm saying, in my whole point in going back into it, isn't to say like what was done was right, and like to say that I co-sign it. But my point is like there are people who are trying to make it seem like Vasiliy was scared to fight Devin because he was afraid of him, so he ducked him, and that narrative is false. And just like I believe that narrative's false, if Devin is struggling to make 135 and he decides that I can't put my body through another weight cut like that, it's just not safe, I'm moving up to 140, I wouldn't see it as him ducking Vasiliy either, is all I'm saying. Because just like Vasiliy made the decision that was best for him, Devin's making it. See, Vasiliy made a decision that was best for him, which was I want to go for Undisputed and I want to fight Tio. But if Devin is saying like, we could have fought when I could have made 135 easier when it was easy for me to make 135 and you elected someone else. Now that I'm struggling to make 135, I'm not going to take that fight. I'm going to move up. And if you want to move up, we can meet there. And I already know what people are going to say. It's a stretch for Vasiliy already. He's a smaller stature moving up. But my point is, Devin needs to do what's best for him too, just like Vasiliy needs to do what's best for him. In the end, though, I'm with you, G. I hope that they make the fight. You know, I think it's a great fight. But what I don't want to see is I don't want to see a weight drained Devin in there fighting Vasiliy when he's not at his best. I don't want to see that. I want to see these two guys get in there and fight. And I think it will be a great fight. I think Vasily's talented, and we're going to get into our prediction for Vasiliy a little bit later. But, I mean, I don't think he owes Vasiliy Lomachenko anything. I think when he was the mandatory, Vasiliy sideswiped him. Not because I think Vasiliy was afraid, but it just there were better options out there for Vasiliy. So now that he's the best option for Vasiliy and Vasiliy wants to fight him, I think Devin should do what's best for him too. Like that's just the precedent that was set. And you know, it's not about like these guys being afraid though, or these guys ducking like Paulie Malignaggi try to make it seem like, oh, Devin's gonna duck him and move up. No, Devin is a growing young man, and you saw how he looked the last weight cut. Memes were made about it. So let's not front like this dude isn't struggling to get down to 135. But you know, I hope that it works out. And I hope, like, you know, what Trill said, this 3-fight deal ending with Vasiliy is real, because I think that fight will be huge. And I think the winner of that fight is only going to elevate their status within the sport.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.